it's sad because I also grieve the potential. And a lot of people don't talk about that. Like, and because when you meet people, you see all the potential. So you're trying to pour that into people. And when they don't meet that potential and don't meet where you want them to be at, when it don't work out, you're also grieving that portion of them. Because you're like, I know what your life can be like. I know what you're made of. I've seen you in this state before. I've witnessed you do these things. But along the way, you've lost sense of self. And now I'm trying to help you get back to what I saw, even if it was a glimpse. And that'd be the issue, because I see glimpse and they never reach it. It's almost like you're playing basketball and you're at the half court and you're never going to make the shot. And you're not even trying. You're just standing there with the ball in your hand and just dribbling the ball. You're not moving. You're in that same spot doing the same motion over and over again. And it's like, okay, when are you going to make the shot? When are you going to just take a leap and just shoot the ball? And they never do. They're stuck in that same motion. And that's something that I'm learning, is not to see potential in people, but to see people for who they are. Because the thing is with people pleasers is we like to paint pictures of what we want people to be. So they may be like completely checked out and life has really dealt their cards and all these different things. And as people pleasers, we try to swoop into their life and be the superwoman or superman in their life. Pick them up and push them along the way because they said out their mouth, I want better. They're saying it, but none of their actions match what they want out of life. And so that is difficult because trying to find friends, which for me, my friend circle, family circle has always been small. Even growing up, I really wasn't close with a lot of like the outside family. My family in my home was like my primary, was my support system, and of course I had relationships with my grandparents and aunts and stuff like that, but I didn't really venture out into relationships with other family. One reason is because I kind of saw how they lived their lives. And I knew I didn't want to aspire to be those people. And the other thing is I didn't get the feeling that they would be healthy for me to really idolize, like as far as role models go. And I know this day and time, there's so much going on, and I don't even think people have role models anymore. It's kind of hard to tell, but I know growing up, we always had somebody that was a role model for us that kind of symbolized what we wanted to be in life and who we wanted to be. And it was kind of like a guidebook because we sought a lot of advice from them and, with life situations because they were significantly older and which helped out a lot in some cases. And so even with that, not being as close to a lot of people in your immediate family can be difficult, but I know it's for the best because there's a lot of people that have really over the years shown me that they have no respect or truly don't really love me the way they say they do. I think a lot of times we love people by association, but the way they treat you don't align with what they say. And I realized it a lot, especially when my husband passed last year. And a lot of the backlash I got from me trying to grieve my husband. And I think a lot of times people don't understand when you're going through something, you can't just think about yourself. Especially if what they are like in their present struggle. You can't just think about yourself. And I realized that a lot of it, I had an eye-opening experience when my husband passed. And it was very disheartening and I was very disappointed. And it's crazy because when I explained to my therapist everything that had happened to me, my therapist literally said, I feel really bad for you. Almost to the point where my therapist almost started crying. And she know that just made me cry. And so it's very difficult because grieving relationships, especially when you come to the realization that they were not what you thought it was, and you put your all into that because you thought that that was genuine. And to find out on the flip side that it's not that at all. Wow. You have a whole nother layer of trauma you have to heal from. And so with that, I encourage people to take inventory of everybody in your life. Because in this day and time, it is so important to know who is genuinely there for you and who you need to remove. And I know if there are some of those long-term relationships, it's harder to remove yourself from those. I understand that because I'm going through it still. But you kind of take it one day at a time. You have to ask yourself, what am I gaining in this relationship? And what have you gained in the relationship? What are you losing in everything you've already lost? And if your losses outweigh your gain, then you know you have to act accordingly. Now, as it pertains to family, of course, I still love my family to death. All of them. And it's only a select few that I'm really not as close with. The relationship has taken a toll at this point. But I have to love people from a distance. And I have to prioritize my peace and prioritize my healing and set healthy boundaries. And as I continue on this journey, and I hope that if anybody is experiencing this right now, that this helps you. And we're all in this together. And this should be talked about more. I think a lot of the conversation is not geared towards these type of topics, but it is so important because it is a form of grief. You're literally grieving the loss of a relationship and a lot of the things associated with that. Now, if people come around and you all reconnect and build a healthy relationship with those people, great. I'm even open to that, but I'm not going to go out of my way to do so like I've done in the past. I'm not going to try to jump through loopholes to figure out where you stand on certain things. I'm not going to try to fit myself in a box to make you feel comfortable, because I've done that for so long. I've tried to squeeze myself into boxes that were never meant for me to be in to begin with. And so I encourage you all to take inventory of everyone in your life and just figure out, what do you need right now, and prioritize yourself. It's okay to prioritize yourself. I think everyone needs to in this time, because we jeopardize a lot trying to please others. And whatever your root cause of your people pleasing comes from, figure out what that is, so that way you know how to deal accordingly and heal from that. And in grieving those relationships with those people, still operate in love. I always tell people, don't be bitter and angry with those people. Still love them, show kindness and compassion, because your legacy is based off what you do and how you act, not how people treat you. So think about that. And I hope that will help you along the way as well. But as we continue on this journey, we will see how this goes and just see how people respond, because then you'll learn a lot about how people respond as well, and not accepting the fact that you want to heal and separate yourself from them and create healthy boundaries, because in so many ways people will say you act like you're better than everyone else. What makes you so special? And you are special. And because you're trying to heal, and because you're trying to create those spaces, you are better than everyone else, because you're taking the extra step to create a version of you that you're pleased with, that you're happy with, that not only makes your life better, but everyone around you lives better. So don't ever apologize for being awesome and trying to create this version of yourself that is beautiful and blossom into something beautiful. I'm still a caterpillar trying to get out of my cocoon and see what beautiful colors come out of it, and fly like a beautiful butterfly. So I hope that everyone is trying to achieve the same goal. And that is my story on grieving relationships. And I hope that this helps someone along the way. Thank you all. Again, this is Cozy Corner with Taylor.